expectations from the finance minister was very high from this budget. There was a high expectation in the market because in the first half of FY25, we have seen multiple challenges to the economy. That is related to the reduction in the government spending, credit tightening, unsecured lending in the credit tightening in the unsecured lending, consumption slowdown, especially in the urban area, extended monsoon, and inflation. All these factors have contributed to the muted GDP growth in the first half of FY25. So it was a wide expectation from the finance minister to regain to the wheel of consumption in the economy and to bring back to spur the consumption in the economy. What we believe that our finance minister delivered well in this particular expectation, and what we believe that this is the landmark budget in the recent time. Why we saying that this is a landmark budget? Because the landmark tax rebate decision have been taken in this budget, and now in the new regime up to 12 lakh there is no tax. What we believe that this will give a significant boost to the masses, delivering growing masses. Even with this allocation given towards the masses, the fiscal deficit has set at 4.4% for FY26, and fiscal deficit for the current financial year FY25 revised down by 10 bips to 4.8%. So what we believe that the union budget played a balancing act to maintain the fiscal discipline and to support consumption-led demand in the economy. So that is the new type of scenario which is emerging in the Indian landscape, where more focus now is shifting towards consumption economy. Well, the past decade for the current government was more public infrastructures like road, bridge, and other public infrastructure projects. Story for the ruling party success. Now capacity creation via public infrastructure, that is a capex, do have a positive implication in the longer run, but that resulted into lower allocation towards the social scheme. Now with this budget, the strengthening focus has been given towards rural India, masses, and the middle class of the economy for spurring consumption. What we believe that this indicates a shift in the economic regime up to certain extent, and this consumption-led growth will have a cascading effect in the economy and provide much needed boost to the private capex, which was sluggish from the many years. And what we believe that multiple challenges which I discussed have been underperforming in the market from last couple of years, and based on this expectation, some allocation in upcoming quarters likely to shift towards the consumption oriented economy, and based on that some moderation is expected in the capex linked stock. What we believe that the contour main pillar, the biggest pillar was consumption. The finance minister has given no tax. So according, which is translating into a no tax. So a benefit of 83,000 rupees basis. If I divide 83,000 presentation, once I move to the next slide, I will again confirm from all of you. So the 80 to the masses, if I divide 83 by 12, so close to 7,000 rupees will be given in the hands of the masses on a monthly basis. Based on that increment, now the government is shifting some needle towards consumption. Whenever the money has been given in the hand of the masses, they will going to spend on in the hand of the masses. They will going to spend on an immediate basis. So that will create a cascading effect in the economy, and that will able to create high capacity utilization for all the consumption related private capex in those demand. And on top of that, continued thrust on the capex will provide a balance act in the economy, and based on that, the third pillar, that is a fiscal max reasonable, government is maintaining the fiscal mathematics, and for FY26 they have set the target of 4.4, that indicates a fiscal prudence in the economy. And at last, some continued push has been given to rural and skill development. So what we believe that, according to our analysis, some of the positive budget play from our coverage universe are Ultratech Cement, Maruti, Hero Motocorp, Trent as a consumption play, Westlife Food and Avenue Supermart again as a consumption play, Bajaj Finance as a consumer durable, state as a beneficiary of the real estate, Indian Hotel as a travel and tourism and consumption play. Some of the non-coverage play from based on the budget play are Macrotech developer as a real estate play, Allied Blender as a liquor consumption play, Metro Brand as a footwear play, Excite Industries will be based on support towards the green mobility play, and at last Thomas Cook is considered as a travel and tourism play. So these are our budget expectation. Now let's drill down what are the key announcement, what was the macro picture presented, and at last what are the sectoral implication of this budget. So starting with what are the key highlights of the budget. So specific highlights will be 11.2 lakh crore has been given for the capex development. So capex is the big backbone of the economy. Every economy required infrastructure building, and continued thrust has been given to by this government towards the infrastructure building. On top of that, 1.4 lakh crore has been proposed for 50-year interest-free loan to the state to develop the state government infrastructure. That is again a positive for the government. On top of that, they have announced the Udan scheme, which will connect 120 new destination, and by in next 10 year, government is likely to carry a passenger in next 10 year with the help of Udan scheme. This will be a very game changer scheme in the next decade. On top of that, the FDI limit for the insurance sector has been increased from 74% to 100%. So that will attract more FDI investment in India. And at last, the income tax payable up to 12 lakh has been given a rebate in the new income tax regime. So what we believe that overall, this is a very solid budget giving push towards the consumption and having a balanced act towards the capex announcement with proper fiscal management. In terms of fiscal outlook, the nominal GDP expectation has given a 10% boost. What we believe that the expectation numbers are reasonable in nature. Now the entire balance sheet of the budget has increased to 50.65 lakh crore, which is almost 7.4% higher than the revised estimate. The gross revenue collection for the government is expected to grow by 10.8% in FY26, which we believe that likely to be met in line with the expectation of the nominal GDP growth. So it means that by next year, government is likely to meet the gross revenue collection. The government is right track for the consolidation path, and at last the borrowing number for this particular budget is reasonable in nature. So that's why what we believe that the fiscal outlook for the Indian economy looks very attractive, and in FY26 there are fair chances that the credit rating companies also consider this fiscal outlook based on the emerging development in upcoming quarter, and what we believe that will put a solid foundation for the improvement in the credit rating for India in upcoming years. Specifically, some amount of allocation given towards the clean tech, then EV batteries, PV cells, some allocation has been given. Broadband connectivity will provide to all the government secondary school. Some arrangement has been given for the gig workers, and the measure is likely to benefit to the 1 crore gig workers in upcoming years. So all these are some of these specific areas, and what we believe that the major focus given in this particular budget was given towards the ease of doing business. More and more rationalization of the taxes has been given in this budget, and what we believe that this is a solid thing which is emerging in the market based on the ease of doing business, and we believe that in upcoming year more and more steps will be given towards the ease of doing business in the upcoming years. Picture in the detail. What is the macro picture presented in the budget? So the first macro picture, we talk about the fiscal account, that is known as revenue receipt. So let's talk about the budget in simplistic way. Simplistic way is that the budget is nothing but the balance and the revenue. So if the expenditure is higher than the revenue, so whatever the deficit is nothing but known as my fiscal deficit. And that fiscal deficit divided by the nominal GDP is nothing but known as my fiscal deficit percentage number. So 4.4% fiscal deficit for FY26 is nothing but the shortfall in the revenue divided by nominal GDP, that is known as fiscal deficit number. Now how government earn money? So government earn money, that is the revenue received for the government. So government earn money by collecting taxes. So these taxes are broadly categorized into two parts. One is the direct tax, the second is the indirect tax. So direct tax, there are two components. One component is the personal income tax and corporate tax. The personal income tax is a tax in which you and me comes into the picture, in which we do pay the taxes based on our salaries. We do also pay the taxes of capital gain tax, STT, security transaction tax. All will be a part of personal income tax. Now what is corporate tax? All the companies which are there in Indian economy, where they whatever the profit they generate, based on the nature of the business, they will have to give the profit a percentage to the government. So that is known as corporate tax. So both these tax are considered as a direct tax. So right now government is forecasting the personal income tax to the 14.38 lakh crore, which is almost 14.3% higher than the revised estimate of the last year. Now based on the income tax rebate given to the masses, in which up to 12 lakh income, no income tax will be available, will be given. So here government is taking a hit of 1 lakh crore tax expectation. If no rebate was given, this 14.38 number is likely to be 15.38 lakh crore. Since government is giving some rebate to the masses, so they are taking a hit of 1 lakh crore on the personal income tax number. So if no hit was given, the growth rate was likely to be 22%. But with this 1 lakh crore given to the masses, so it means that the growth rate is 14.3%. What we believe that is reasonable in nature. The corporate tax growth rate is again almost equivalent to 10%, and what we believe that is almost equivalent to the nominal GDP growth. Now coming down to the second component of the tax, that is known as indirect tax, which is calculated on the goods which we purchase or services which we purchase. The first form of the indirect tax is the GST collection. So in GST collection right now government is assuming almost 11% growth rate. So what we believe that this number is likely to be achievable. So more conservative number has been put up over here, and there are strong chances based on the consumption demand, the GST number likely to be grow higher in this FY26 year, because whatever the goods and services which we purchase, there is a GST attract. And whenever you see any bill, there are two components of the GST collection. One is the state GST and second is the central GST. The nomenclature uses SGST and CGST. S stands for state, C stands for central. So in this scenario, the GST or return over here is 11.7 lakh crore is a centralized component of that particular GST number. What we believe that is likely to be met. So the excise duty has been collected, some custom duty has been collected. Government also earn money from the union territories, and based on that, the net tax revenue collection is expected to be at 28.37 lakh crore, which we believe that likely to be met. On top of that, RBI the government also collect revenue from other sources, that is known as the non-tax revenue. So non-tax revenue could be interest coming from or dividend coming from the RBI, interest on some amount of FDs, or some amount of dividend coming from the PSUs in which government is the main shareholder. So all these are considered as a non-tax receipt. So collection total, so based on the net tax revenue and the non-tax receipt, total is known as the total receipt. So the total receipt is nothing but 34.96 lakh crore. Total expenditure which is set in the budget is at 50.65 lakh crore. So there is a shortfall of 15.6 lakh. That is nothing but known as government will have to borrow that money from the outside. So that shortfall money divided by the nominal GDP for FY26 is nothing but known as fiscal deficit, and fiscal deficit is continuously reducing from 4.8 to 4.4%. So what we believe that this is a solid fiscal prudence part government has given and displayed for FY26, even taking a hit of 1 lakh crore on the income tax collection. So let's go to the next part, that is the subsidy and the non-tax revenue. So the subsidy, so government has a total budget of 50.65 lakh crore. So how government spend? So government spend by giving a subsidy to the multiple section of the economy. So there is a 2 lakh crore has been given for food subsidy, 1,67,000 crore has been given for the urea subsidy, 12,000 crore has been given for the petroleum, and 27,000, and there are some other subsidies involved. So in which total 4,26,000 crore has been given as a subsidy out of 50 lakh crore budget. Now there are some non-tax receipt which I discussed on the previous slide. So government earn interest, government earn dividend. So dividend from the public enterprises, that is 69,000 expected. So all the PSUs, government has a shareholding available. So any dividend given by that public enterprises, the government tend to receive the dividend. On top of that, 2,56,000 crore passes as a central government sponsored schemes. So there are multiple schemes they run. Mandrega, they have allocated 86,000 crore, the allocation almost equivalent. Then Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, Gram Sadak Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Jal Jeevan Mission, Swachh Bharat Mission, Environment, Amrut and Smart Cities. So total centrally sponsored scheme have given an allocation about 5.41 lakh crore. Then some allocation for crop insurance, some allocation crore. So this is an outlay from the government kitty in which the continued same focus has been given in FY26 budget. Now coming to the major announcement in terms of infrastructure. So the major amount of money from the government goes towards the building public infrastructure, that is in terms of building roads, that is NHAI and railways. So for NHAI, 1,70,000 has been allocated. The similar amount was given last year. For railway, 2,55,000 has been allocated. For urban development, smart cities and Amrut cities has been developed. Shipping, the small amount has been given. For power, 21,000 crore has been allocated. For aviation, 2,400 crore, 2,400 crore has been allocated. Jal Shakti Mission, 25,000 have been allocated. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, 78,000 has been allocated. Last year, they fall short in spending the amount for Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana due to election year. Now, this amount is somehow equivalent to the what it was budgeted for FY25. Then Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, and at last Swachh Bharat Mission. At last, what is the expenditure budget? So as I was mentioning, expenditure budget is of total government is having government will have to spend 50.65 lakh crore. So where they are spending? So 2 lakh 70 pension, 4 lakh 91,000 crore has been given to the defense, then subsidy, then the commerce and industry, then some amount given for education, which is 1 lakh 28,000 crore. Some amount will be allocated for energy, then external affair, then home affair. The 2 lakh 33,000 has been the 2 lakh 33,000 has been allocated. Then interest allocated. Then interest, government will have to bond interest on the loans in the deficit where they have a deficit. So the interest component is almost equivalent to 12 lakh 76,000 crore. Then rural development, then scientific development, transport and urban development. So all these feature, and what we believe that very smartly in spending all the amount which is available in the kitty, and they have present landmark manner and smartly designed the budget towards the and the capex oriented schemes. So this is about the macro picture. One transformational thing which has happened during this budget is the new tax regime, where up to 12 lakh rupees there will be no tax. So according to our analysis, based on our understanding, we have created one illustration for this based on the announcement given in the budget. What we believe that, so government has given 12 lakh rupees, up to 12 lakh there will be no income tax. So right now, on top of that, there is a facility available of 75,000 rupees of standard deduction. On top of that, there will be a facility available to invest 50,000 rupees in NPS. So in total, what we believe that up to 13 lakh 25,000 rupees. Now, based on this, the taxable amount is zero, because this particular person fall into a 12 lakh category where the no tax will be given. If the same amount 13.25 lakh rupees given in the new regime given on 23rd of July, the existing new regime. So if I calculate the same number with the help of the new regime slack earlier given, 0 to 3, 3 to 7, 7 to 10, the tax liability comes down to 83,200. So what we believe that, so this is the number this number we have used on our first slide. So there is a possibility of 83,000 rupees of saving for the masses, and 83,000 divided by 12, that is close to 7,000 rupees per month incremental saving will be possible for the masses, and that is the reason we like some of the consumption oriented schemes. So till now we talk about the macro picture, the landmark tax thing, what has been changed in the landmark tax thing. Now coming down to the sectoral picture, what is incrementally given in the sector. So for FMCG and retail, we believe that this is a big positive. All the FMCG companies will be in traction and will likely to see volume growth in upcoming quarter. It is positive for the cigarette companies also, because no incremental thing has been given in terms of the cigarette cess from multiple years. So there was always be an overhang on the cigarette sector once we approach towards the budget, but nothing has been given. So it is positive for the cigarette companies, and again positive for the retail companies like Trend, DMart, Westlife Food, and definitely Zomato in the near term. So this will add the growth for those lever in terms of consumption. So the what we believe that the impact of income tax revision on disposable income will increase, boost to premium, FMCG, QSR, tourism and retail sector, and some incremental allocation in the budgetary has been given towards the footwear and leather industries. So that will provide employment to the 22 lakh people. Bihar initiatives for growth, rural credit access initiatives has been given, and tourism sector has been given. So all these are indicating a good times for the consumption story in next 1 year. In terms of automobile, the similar phenomena, more money has been come into the hand of the masses. So it will be positive for the OEMs like Hero Motocorp, Eicher, TVS, Bajaj, or OEMs like Maruti. On top of that, there are certain measures has been given towards manufacturing along with the focus on cobalt power and lithium ion batteries. So this will be positive for the exide industries and Amara Raja in a longer term, and also policy led boost to the auto sector. That is multiple thing has been given for the farm equipment and farmer areas to increase the income of the farmer. So that will be positive for the tractor OEMs like Mahindra and Mahindra in a longer run. Coming down to the next sector, that is cement. What we believe that cement will be neutral to positive. Capital in expenditure has been increased to 11.2 lakh crore. So in a longer run, it will attract more cement demand. Gati Shakti plan has been implemented and the new destination. So this will increase the infrastructure demand in 120 places, new destination, and will attract more demand for the cement companies. So at this moment, we continue to like Ultratech Cement, JKL Cement, Dalmia Bharat, and Ambuja Cement in a long term perspective. In terms of infra, the overall allocation is positive to neutral to positive. No incremental thing has been given for the infra companies. Nothing surprises has been given in this budget. So all these infra company will continue to do their operation as per the pace of the order book which is coming. So we continue to like HG Infra, Aluwalia Contract, and J Kumar for the long term perspective. In terms of real estate, what we believe that with incremental consumption, which will real estate is also considered as a consumption, so real estate demand likely to go increase. On top of that, there is multiple things which multiple tweaks has been given to the real estate buyer. Now for the second home is not is considered as a tax-free home. Earlier, there was a notional tax which we attracted for the let-out property of the second home. Now, for second home, the value considered as a nil. So, what we believe that this will attract again demand for the real estate in the economy and provide thirst to the real estate demand. On top of that, there are strong chances in next 1 or 2 MPC meeting of RBI. There are strong chances for the rate cut in the economy. So based on this, the green shoots are very solid available for the real estate to grow from the current level. On top of that, the TDS threshold limit on rent has been increased to 2.4 to 6 lakh rupees. So that will again attract the real estate investment very attractive in a longer run. In terms of travel and tourism, very positive budget because government is developing top 50 tourist destination. So what we believe that this will be a very solid thing for improving the travel and tourism and given to build the public infrastructure and also provide the hospitality investment under the harmonized list for these 50 destination. So based on that, there will be a attractiveness of the incentive given for the hotel player to build hotel in that particular 50 destination, so that will attract more employment in a longer run, and we believe that all the hotel companies will be the beneficiary, and especially we like Indian hotel in the long run. In terms of banks and NBFC, so banks and NBFC do no direct play, but what we see that the MSME, the better availability of fund has been given for MSME. Capital outlay of FY26 budget is 11.2. Higher disposable income means higher credit growth possibility. So the players like Bajaj Finance, SBI card will continue to be play better in upcoming quarters, and also the play like City Union, Federal, Karur Vysya and DCB, where the MSME portfolio is very high, will be likely to benefit in the upcoming quarters. In terms of new insurance, it's a neutral, but big push has been given given in this budget in terms of FDI limit. So FDI limit has been increased from 74% to 100%, and definitely government is setting a plan for insurance for all by 2047, and this is a very very positive step towards achieving that plan by 2047. In terms of metal, it's a neutral budget. Nothing major announcement has been given in terms of metal. In terms of utility, power ancillary, again it's considered as a neutral budget. Power sector reform has been set. Clean tech manufacturing support has been given to build the ecosystem for the solar PV cell, EV batteries for motor and controller. So all these initiatives has been given. On top of that, the nuclear energy mission has been set for 2047 to build 100 gigawatt capacity for the nuclear energy by 2047. Various investment in solar energy has been given. PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana has been increased to 20,000 crore from 11,000 crore. So there are small things has been given, and which will help to do the ease of business in the power and utility sector. We continue to like NTPC, JSW Energy, and Tata Power based on the recent development. And what we believe that overall it's a neutral announcement for this particular sector. In terms of chemical and mid cap, more emphasis has been given for agricultural growth. Extension of Jal Jeevan mission has been given. National manufacturing mission has been launched for the clean tech manufacturing. So all these are the small steps which has been taken for the incremental growth in the sector. So what we believe that, so in terms of battery, Exide, Amara Raja will be the positive. In terms of battery chemical, Neogen and Himadri may benefit in the longer run. In terms of Viatech, Wabag and Gen Irrigation will be the beneficiary of the extension of the Jal Jeevan mission going forward. In terms of pharma, so what we believe that again it's a neutral play, but some good announcement has been given in terms of custom duty extension for the 36 life-saving drug. Healthcare infrastructure project for the daycare cancer center has been established, is likely to be established in next 3 years for 200 center in the government hospital. All these initiatives are a very very solid initiatives has been taken in terms of the sector. So overall, what we believe that this is a budget which will provide more inclination growth towards the consumption led economy, which was facing a problem of sluggishness, especially in the urban area. So what we believe that going forward, the market positioning is likely to shift towards some amount of consumption name, and the capex oriented name will continue to find space in a longer run. But based on the new surprises in the budget, some space has been shifted towards the consumption bonanza. So overall, what we believe that it's a landmark budget for meeting a vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047. So we believe that with this landmark budget and more and more economic growth is underway in the next decade, and we believe that this FY26 will likely to be better as compared to FY25. So with this, I'm ending my presentation. So I already discussed about what are the impacted area, what is the outlook based on the budget expectation, and what are the key budget play based on. So with this, I am ending my presentation and hand over the floor to Rohan for further updates.